Rob, we're down here at the men's press conference. What's your predictions for the race?
It's such a hard one to call. It really is. I think first of all, it's fantastic for the sport of triathlon that you've got Gomez fully fit, that you've got Johnny the defending champion, and that you've got Alistair. I think personally one of the biggest question marks is regarding Alistair's fitness. What condition is that ankle in? Because I think when you look back over the series this year, he's really had to dig deep to win races, not because of a lack of training, but because perhaps his body may have been letting him down on certain occasions. I think the winning Kitchball was absolutely incredible. They came out of the town, and I think there was, 8.5 kilometres of climbing, 8.5 kilometres to the finish, with 800 metres of climbing. He'd done all the damage on the rest of the field before he got onto that run, which was 2.5k. He still ran well, but he took the pressure off that ankle with regards to the run. Again in Stockholm, we saw a little bit of a repeat, going off on the bike and towards the end, and then giving himself a little bit of an advantage over Gomez. I don't necessarily think you can read anything into the fact that Gomez ran a quicker run split in Stockholm, because Alistair still won the race in fine style. But I just wonder if he is a little bit concerned about that ankle. Is he going to try and do something similar here in London to that which he did in Kitchball and Stockholm, and go really, really hard on the bike to give himself that little bit of cushion? I think we should also give huge credit to Gomez. It's quite interesting when you're here at press conferences and people are talking about Alistair and Johnny, which is brilliant because they are, the greatest, and they're a brilliant advert for our sport. But I think we sometimes forget how good Gomez has been and how close he's pushed them on numerous occasions. Gomez is a double world champion. He's a double European champion. He has got a victory so far this year, albeit in Auckland when neither Johnny or Alistair were there. But he is a world-class triathlete. And if you take Alistair and Johnny, hypothetically, out of triathlon, Gomez could lay claim to being one of the best, if not the best in history, the brothers excluding. So I think Gomez has got his part to play. He's gone off to the States, he's won High V, he's obviously in good running form as a result of that good split he ran in Stockholm, finishing second. He's hungry, he's up for it. He ran brilliantly here 12 months ago when he picked up the silver medal and split Alistair and Johnny. So I think Gomez, can be justified in feeling confident, in feeling upbeat and feeling ready to go. And then of course Johnny, what can we say about Johnny? He's brilliant, he's a breath of fresh air, he's so nice to work with, he's so nice to interview, he's hugely talented. And maybe sometimes, I don't know what the other guys feel on Try 24/7, but occasionally, despite the fact that he's Olympic bronze medalist, despite the fact that he's the defending world champion, sometimes you just get a little feeling that maybe he doesn't quite get the respect sometimes that the great accolades he's produced deserve. So it's a brilliant opportunity for him as well. He's shown huge character this year, almost crying when he crossed the line in Yokohama. Maybe that's a slight exaggeration. He looked emotional, certainly, because at that stage, earlier on this year, it looked as though through his injury issues, he wasn't going to have a season at all. So, he's had to show real mental strength away from the race course this year as well, and he'll see this as a great opportunity. Obviously he's got to get a little bit closer than he did in Stockholm where he ended up in third place, but he's beaten Alistair this year. That was in Hamburg. He's beaten Gomez. It's all to play for. It's a wonderful advert for the sport, and they are three guys that never ever shy away from a head-to-head. So it's too close to call. I'm not going to say who's going to win, but what I am very, very interested in is to see whether Alistair re-employs the same tactic here that he did in Stockholm and in Kitchball. It's going to be a brilliant, brilliant race, and another great step forward for the sport from London last year.
If we wanted more, we have got more. The women's race is also looking pretty tight.
Oh, the women's race is unbelievable. On paper, maybe you're going to say Gwen Jorgensen is the favourite. She's had 3 WTS wins this year, and in all but one of the races she has contested on the circuit, and that was Madrid when Non Stanford beat her. Apart from that one occasion where Non ran a faster run split, Jorgensen has been the fastest runner on the third discipline. So I guess from that you can say that if she's up there and she's in contention come the run, if she has a good swim and she doesn't have too much work to do on the bike to get back in touch, then on paper she is the favourite. But non-Stanford, what a season. Can she repeat what Alistair Brownlee did, winning the World Under-23 and then the following season becoming the World Senior Champion? Got on the podium in San Diego with that sprint finish, won in Madrid. You can see by her demeanour there's been a step up in belief, there's been a step up in confidence. And speaking of confidence, exactly the same can be said for Jodie Stimpson. Good work with Michelle Dillon, then she joins the D squad, has an unbelievable winter. This year Jodie Stimpson has been like a triathlete reborn. She's been absolutely fantastic. Couple of podiums and then that winning Kitchpool on the brutal course, Alistair taking the men's and Jodie making it a double that day, as it was in Madrid of course with Jodie and with Johnny and Non. But Jodie's been brilliant. She's a World Triathlon Series winner this year with that victory in Kitchpool, and she's got to believe that she belongs there, because I think she's made such amazing progress in the last 12 months, and she's so nice that sometimes when you see her interviewed you get the feeling that she's almost sort of still slightly taken aback by the quality of her performances. She absolutely belongs there. She's done the training, she's reproduced podium finishes time and time again this year on the series, so she can go into that race absolutely full of confidence and belief and maybe close out what has already been, whatever happens here, the best season of her career so far. And the other athlete who's going to be brilliantly interesting to watch is Annie Haug. Brilliant win in Auckland, but the victory in Hamburg and the manner in which she attacked the last 1 kilometre on that run was absolutely incredible. And even when she's not having a great day, I think Kitchpool she may have been third if I'm right, then that wasn't a brilliant race for Annie Haug, but she still managed to grind out a podium finish. So she too cannot be ruled out at all. But I guess then, yes, like everyone else has been saying, on paper the favourite would be Jorgensen, as long as she hasn't had to do too much work to catch up from a below par swim. Great race. We're so lucky to have the two Brits in contention, and also have the likes of Vicky Holland back to form, Ness Raw's going well, Emma Pallant had a good debut season as a triathlete coming over from running and that World Junior bronze over the 15 a few years ago. So the British female triathlon is unbelievably strong at the moment, and if the girls could do something special tomorrow, well, that would be the icing on the cake. But the groundwork's certainly been laid down for the future as far as the British women are concerned, irrespective of what happens in tomorrow's grand final.
So you're part of the commentary team down here. Obviously, some would say you've got the best seat in the house, and you've already seen some great racing over there the last couple of days. Oh,
yesterday was brilliant, wasn't it? I mean, a great day for the French as well. Absolutely superb. Lecour in that under-23 was absolutely marvellous. I think he may have finished fourth last year, and away he was out sprinting Alaza, and the young lad from Australia as well. So yeah, the men's under-23 was a great race. The two junior races were good as well. It's brilliant. I think this is a great advert for the sport. You can see how many age groupers are here for sprint, and then the full Olympics on the full Olympic distance on Sunday before the elite men take centre stage. I think it's another massive step forward for the sport. It's been a really intriguing season with some new athletes coming through, the likes of Non and Jodie, with Haug going well, and then of course with the triumvirate of excellence, if you want to call it that, with the two Brownlees and Gomez. I think this year's been great. It's been brilliant to be involved the last couple of days. The age group athletes were all on fire at the opening ceremony on Wednesday night. It was lashing with rain, but they were really on good form, and Mexicans have brought something like 350 here. Even Egypt, for the very first time, have brought a contingent, and their number is 22. So I think that's been really exciting as well, because sometimes when you're on the circuit you get the feeling that people who don't traditionally follow triathlon maybe think that it's an elitist sport, that you need a lot of money, and that it's a little bit exclusive in terms of you don't get athletes coming over from, say, the African continent. So I think the fact that you've got the likes of Egypt, the fact that you had Namibia at the opening ceremony, there were Kenya at the opening ceremony, I think that's really important, because triathlon is a global sport and it is inclusive, and it's a really friendly place to come and ply your trade and break a PB or go for gold if you're an elite. So all in all, it's been a brilliant advert for the sport already. and we still haven't had the 2 climax races with the elite women and the elite men. So yeah, it's been brilliant to be here, a real privilege.
Rob, as always, it's a pleasure talking to you. Your enthusiasm is always great. And are we going to see you at a race start again?
Yeah, look, I've got to dust it all off again, haven't I? Really, I mean, I've got to be honest. I do prefer the running, although weirdly, I've had some calf issues the last couple of years, so I've really got into swimming. Nothing on any kind of huge level, but I like going to my local pool in Northolt and smashing out a mile, and I've really got into it. It gives you a little bit of a wing action under the arms, but that's pretty easy when you're as skinny as a rake, I guess. But yeah, I've got to do one again one day. And the other thing I'd really love to do, I've run a few marathons. One day in the dim and distant future, I'd love to have a go at an Ironman. I think that would be incredible. So yes, you've given me a little nudge there. So I shall have a peruse of the calendar and see which one I could have a go at for a second triathlon.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Rob. Wish you all the best of the weekend.
Yeah, no worries. Cheers, Paul.